Hey guys, it's me again. Welcome back to another video, and this will not be another tech update. This is going to be about should you buy the iPhone SE in 2018. Now, I've seen a lot of videos on it, and yeah, a lot of people are talking about should you buy the iPhone SE in 2018. Now, I'm going to be going over this video about like is it worth it and the tech specs and yeah. So starting off with the tech spec, oh yeah, I'm supposed to go to tech specs. Yeah. So the iPhone SE comes with four colors: silver, gold, space gray, and rose gold. And the capacity is 32 and 128 gigabytes. But when it released, when it released in March of 2016, it had 16, 32, 64, and 128, but then they just discontinued the 16 and 64 and then changed it to 32 and 128. And that was the reason why they did that is because when the iPhone 7 came out, they realized that the 16 gigabyte was unused. But I don't know why they discontinued the 64 gigabyte. I don't know why. So, yeah, and the weight is 4 ounces, 113 grams. Display 4 inches. And this has the same processor as the iPhone 6s. So, technically, it's like a smaller version of the 6s. And the camera's really good. It's a 12 megapixel camera. We still have that on iPhones. But the selfie camera is, well, bad. It's 1.2 megapixels, so yeah, it does have a good like rear camera, have 4K video recording at 30 frames per second, but you're gonna have a bad selfie camera, so that's the thing though. And yeah, so yeah, it has 1136 by 640 pixel at 326 pixels per inch, so I think around the same amount of pixels around the same amount as the iPhone 8. So yeah. And, so video recording, that's good, and yeah, FaceTime HD camera, so 1.2 megapixels, so if you don't, yeah, and Touch ID. Now the SE, even though this phone released after the 6S, no, it does not have second generation Touch ID as the first generation, because the second generation at the time, it was still new, so they didn't want to do it, probably because it would probably cost more. Apple Pay, we know. Carriers, Lion Wireless. Yeah, so these are all the specs. Yeah. And let me go to the overview. So yeah, this is how it looks like. Oh, and the price for the iPhone SE right now is $350. Wait, let me go to the thing first. So yeah, the starting price is $350 for the 32 gigabyte model, and for the 128 gigabyte model is $450. So far this is probably the cheapest iPhone on the Apple site right now. But yeah, when it released, the price for the 16 gigabyte model was $400. The price for the 32 gigabyte one was $450. The price for the 64 was $500, and the 128 one was $550. So, yeah. So, this is probably the cheapest iPhone Apple has ever sold so far. And, yeah. But, so, should you get it? Well, if you're on a budget and you needed, like, a cheap iPhone, this is probably the best one, the cheapest one right now. But if you still don't like the $350 price, then go on eBay, and, because they sell these guys for, like, they sell these SEs for, like, $250 to $300 around that for new, unlocked, or yeah. Actually, probably even less. Anyway, so yeah, that iPhone SE is like a small version of the 6S, just without the 3D touch. And the reason why this thing does not have 3D touch is because, once again, the same reason as the second generation Touch ID is not on it. So yeah, should you buy it? In my opinion, yes, if you're on a budget, then yeah. But you might want to think about that because there might be an iPhone SE2 coming out this year, so you might want to think about that. And the price for the SE2 is going to be $450 for the 32 gigabyte one, and the 128 gigabyte one, that'll probably be $500 or $550. So you might want to think about that. for a second. But if you don't really care and you really like the SE, then go for it. I don't care. Anyways, so thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.